Hello, welcome to another episode of Broken Subarus and Fixing Broken Subarus. We might work on Evos today as well, not exactly sure. We just this morning went and dropped off the cylinder heads for Bobby's STI engine. So if you missed yesterday's episode, we pulled the motor out of the car and got the motor all apart, spun a rod bearing on cylinder number 4, some detonation on piston number 4 as well. We went ahead, dropped the heads off, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it in this video or not, but I wanna break down every single mod that we're doing to this engine to hopefully withstand all the power of the world. But then again, it is a Subaru, so you never really know. But the breakdown on the heads is as follows. OEM dual AVCS 2019 STI heads. We're getting them machined for 1/2-inch head studs. We already have the closed deck back there, which is also machined for 1/2-inch head studs. We are doing GSE springs, GSE TI retainers, GSE valve stem seals, getting them decked, meaning the gasket surface resurfaced so it's nice and flat again. What else? Cleaned, hot tanked, just making them brand new again. But as far as mods go, yeah, just 1/2-inch head studs, GSE springs, retainers, factory cams, because we're sticking for now with the 5858 and the GSC stem seals. I thought they were going to be done pretty soon, but it sounds like they're about a week to week and a half out, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Everything in the entire world is taking forever right now. It's taking forever to get car parts in. That's why you see like us not working on the Evo right now, because we're waiting on one certain little tiny part for the Evo that has been out of stock. Just little stuff like that. Pain in the ass to be very consistent and consistent with cars right now because stuff takes forever. So that's the current scoop on the heads. Now today we need to go through, get everything cleaned up. We need to set aside all the parts that we're using, throw away all the stuff we're not using. Pretty much everything on the table right here we're not using, to be honest. We're using the case bolts and we are using some plugs off the cases and maybe the oil pan, but probably not. And of course we're reusing the ACT clutch. All the stuff over here, this is all stuff off the cylinder head, and we are of course reusing all that as well. The first thing I'm going to tackle is start getting everything cleaned up and bagged, separated, organized. So pretty much everything with the cylinder head is going to be in one bag. Of course, like I said earlier, a lot of the stuff is going to be thrown away, but we got to make sure we get all the parts off of the parts that we need. For example, we're going to need this oil cooler bolt, that hose off the oil pump. We're going to need all the hardware, the crank sensor. I'm gonna keep these cases. We can send them in, get them bored out. We already have another set of pistons here, just so we have a spare setup for later on down the road. And on this table over here, we have a ton of stuff to get cleaned up as well. I just wanna get everything nice and organized for when we are ready to rebuild this engine. We do have a turbo that I need to somehow go through, which I may very well attempt myself. I don't know if it's the best idea in the world, but I might attempt to get this thing cleaned out myself. I have rebuilt a few precision turbos in the past. Trying to clean out copper from a turbo might be a little more difficult than just replacing bearings and whatnot. So without further ado, let's start getting everything cleaned up. All right, let me show you guys the little process that I have going on here. So this bucket right here is full of gasoline. I know it's a little dirty. So I'm soaking all the parts in gasoline and then I'll bring them over there and degrease and pressure wash them. This is like the pre-cleaning, I guess you'd call it. Then I'll bag everything. So all the cylinder head stuff is right here. All the AVCS solenoids, cam sensors, all that good stuff. Anything that has to do with oil, I'm being super careful with. And what I mean by like the pre-cleaning process is when I go to assemble the motor, I'm gonna completely re-clean everything with just some brake cleaner, make it 100% spotless, but I don't wanna bag everything up while it's all greasy and oily. So this is just getting all the oil off, any sort of copper BS from when this thing took out a bearing, getting all that BS out of there. So yeah, gasoline or brake clean. I'm not soaking these in gasoline, I'm just spraying these off with brake clean, and then degreaser, pressure wash, blowing stuff off with compressed air, and then I'll throw everything in little baggies and label it and throw it in a bin, throw it inside the car, and whenever we decide, we can start building the engine.
What is this?
What the hell is this, Josh?
I'm trying to blend in. I knew I couldn't come here without blending in.
Show me what the hell you bought.
Okay, so we got 2014 Evo X. This car has a piston rod, head, studs, built head, GSC S2s, ETS turbo kit. A little small turbo though. 5858.
How small?
About as small as my pee-pee. You've seen my truck, you already know. So.
Dude, this thing's sick.
It's not bad.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks to you, it runs and drives, so we didn't show that, but...
We didn't. We should have. We should have. That would have
been a pretty fun experience. Making a motor noise, Devin Niemela over here diagnosed. Oil pump. So, new oil pump. Thanks, shout out to Bobby. She runs good.
Fuck yeah.
Tuned by your boy Chad.
Chad.
See, I can't even say it.
It's so clean, dude. It looks so good.
Some Volk, some real boy wheels. What is this? This defies everything I know.
Are you gonna tune this thing or what?
I am 100% going to tune it. This is my car I wanted to learn on, and you know, we can make some power and see how it goes. Needs a bigger turbo.
Always.
But we're gonna max out this 5858 first, see what it makes.
Probably 1,000 wheel.
1,000 wheel.
Maybe 500.
Yeah, maybe 500.
Was this the SSS model?
Non-SSS. My first non-SSS.
Sad.
Basic bit.
Oh, that's quiet.
It's quiet. That's what I want to show. It's like your home.
It's nice and clean in here, though.
Pretty nice interior. Like this, the gauge install.
Sus.
Yeah, it was sus. He told me that it was pretty sus.
Let's see how mischief Jimmy you can be in an Evo.
You listen here, pal. I flat-footed this thing earlier and it fell straight on its face. So.
Oh Lord.
Probably gonna spin.
Yeah, well. What? This thing fucking rips. This thing hauls ass.
Dude, I told you it's way faster now. I put fresh gas in. I can't believe I missed on camera.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
It's the pressure. Dude, this feels like my 10 with a 6.2. Bro, what? It's only like 27 pounds on pump gas on 58.
I didn't know that. It's a lot faster now.
Dude, this thing rips.
It's pretty quick.
This thing would got my 6.2. Pretty sure.
That was a surprise. I haven't really ripped on it.
Do you think it's quick?
It feels quick now, yeah. It was spinning there.
You thought earlier it had bad gas in it?
Well, I don't know how long it sat, and I can tell you it was dog shit slow before.
Yeah.
And I was not impressed. I was telling Devin, I was like, I don't know, this thing feels pretty slow, but I can tell you when I looked earlier today before I put fresh gas in, it was only on 20 pounds. But
bro, yeah, this thing rips.
It's pretty fast, bro.
That's fun, dude. And this only, yeah, I'm excited for the 85.
Dude, I'm so excited. Add some torque that we know they don't have.
Yeah, 58.
Yeah.
Bob's versus this car. That'll be fun.
What do you think that's gonna make on here? This does have cams.
Yeah.
Which may help or may not help. It might outflow the turbo. I don't know.
What Bob's car make? 617 maybe?
Just over 600 on 34 pounds.
This is gonna be right around that. I think it's a 2-liter, right?
I need more power.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about buying a 6466. We know it's not gonna make what I want. I want 800 wheels. We know this turbo ain't gonna do it, but
nah, this thing's fun.
it's pretty
I'm
quick.
impressed. I thought I was
impressed. I didn't think it was this fast. I haven't really revved it out or got on it that much.
I kind of want to drive it.
You wanna drive it?
Will I break it?
I mean,
I guess I got spare Evos at the shop.
broken, yeah.
Oh, it's a stock shifter. I'm gonna mischief Jimmy all through town.
It wasn't just me. I did it before. I got it great. This feels a lot better being over here. I'm happy to be over here.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, you like that?
Ah, good old Evo.
Feel right at home.
I'm in my zone right now. First I thought it was tire.
No, I was definitely clutch.
Oh Lord.
I thought it did it earlier too.
Okay, let's let it cool down a little
Okay,
bit.
all right, here we go.
Dude, this thing's fun.
It's pretty fun.
I wish I could smash gears.
I'll get a clutch in it. Well, now I know I need to put a clutch in it before we do E.
This thing rips with one gas.
It feels pretty fast over here.
Yeah, I like this. See, later 5858s are the best street turbo ever made.
Oh, I'm broken. What do you think of the suspension? D2 coils, 275s. Oh, see, that's what it did to me earlier.
Flash and check engine light.
I don't know.
It's your knock sensor.
We gotta unplug that guy.
Something
broke it.
Saw that clutch? Rip.
Should have known that was coming. I was doing fine until you got to the show. All right.
Oh.
Ooh, you
clutch.
smell that? I
Yeah.
gotta replace the piston rings you fried.
What's going on?
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Well, I don't see no more wastegate line down there, so that's a plus. That's how we know we had all the power. It hit like 34 pounds. Oh, get out of here, new tech.
Chase.
Yeah,
This
stab
is
him.
Chase Bader's tech that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Bader's bitch.
Meanwhile, Devin's checking the shift cables.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, yeah, the boost line's on.
Got the
yeah.
Subaru God and the Evo God.
Who's the Subaru god?
Me. Josh is just behind the laptop.
Your boy Chag giving me the sauce. What, how much boost are you on pump gas? Because I'm on 34.
24. No, it was initially on 27 when you were driving, and then I was driving. It's on 34.
It was just the aggressive driver mod.
It must have been. Huh?
I don't know. That was weird.
Why would it hit that, Bader? You're the tuner.
I'm the tuner, but not the tuner of this one.
Well, what else makes sense? That's the only thing that makes sense.
The only thing that makes sense is the car was obviously tuned at a higher elevation, or
There's no way it's on 34 pounds.
no problem.
Zero fucking.
But it could be over boosting. Had it.
But when you were
maxed out
driving, it's
there.
on 27 pounds.
Well, then you started
I
getting
blew
some.
some
You got
shit
some
off.
heat in the motor,
No, Bader, get
and
the
then
hell out of
it
here.
magically got.
It's your plastic ass valve cover is about to catch on fire. Is what's gonna happen.
Dude, don't be hating on the valve cover. That's my heat disperse. Did we ever tighten this bolt last night? No. It's your professional opinion.
It's fast. I like it.
It's pretty fast for pump gas. I'm pretty surprised.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Are you gonna make content on this car?
Yes, I need to make some more content. 100%. I'm probably gonna blow it up. Pretty good at that. That's what I'm known for. Blow everything up.
Bro, if you ain't popping this thing out, either your motor's too tight, so
So you're telling me that we're not making power
you're
yet?
not. If that ain't
We're-
got no oil in it.
Oh, we don't need that where we're going.
The next thing I'm gonna work on and tear apart and clean is our turbo. I might do some coatings on it, not exactly sure yet. It is pretty rusty. So let's go ahead and get the turbo off the up pipe, get the feed line and drain line off of this thing, and we can start tearing into it. And we gotta get of course, all that copper out of this thing. If we don't, it's gonna go back in our engine and start wearing our bearings and wearing everything else that we don't want. We definitely do not want that. So we have the entire turbo apart, even went ahead and pulled apart the cage. So the bearing cage is what I was mainly worried about. We have that soaking in ATF. I'm gonna let that soak for a while, and then I'll probably let it re-soak in gasoline just to make sure there's no sort of copper in there. It's all very easy to clean once it's completely apart. But being that we already have the compressor housing off, the hot side off, the hot side's a little bit rusty, and then the center cartridge as well is quite crusty, and everything's completely gutted. So we can go ahead and get all these parts cleaned up. this is gonna be sandblasted, just glass bead. It's gonna clean up really, really nice. I'm not gonna do any sort of coatings on here. And then this and this, I do want to Cerakote just so they're not all rusty, because it doesn't look very nice. And then of course, everything's gonna be resealed, new rings, new seals, new everything inside the turbo, and we should have a brand new turbo. So I'm excited for this. I know a lot of people say don't do this kind of stuff at home with these turbos. I would also recommend not to do it at home yourself if you've never done it before. I have done quite a few precision turbos. The only thing I haven't done before is pull apart the cage, which I didn't even know was possible. But after seeing a tutorial video on YouTube, it's pretty easy. So I went ahead and did it. Just gotta make sure everything's completely cleaned out, and we might as well make it look nice and pretty again while it's apart. So we are gonna be slapping down some Cerakote C7600 Glacier Black on cartridge and the hot side. So both of them are sandblasted now. Got them completely bare and ready to go. Sandblasting them was the first step in the Cerakote process. Next up is a bake cycle in the oven, and they're gonna go in the oven for 30 minutes at 300 degrees. While those parts are baking in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead, pull out the 100 grit sand and throw in some glass bead, and we can get this compressor housing cleaned up. Here's how the compressor housing turned out. She looks brand new, nice and beautiful again. Glass bead does wonders. So we got the parts out of the oven. They are completely cooled down, and these things are ready to be Cerakoted. We have our Cerakote gun with a 0.8 mil tip. We just shook this up for about 10 minutes straight, get all those solids mixed in, and now we can go ahead and dump it into the gun through a mesh strainer. We are gonna do 1 to 2 coats, and we're shooting for a 1 to 2 mil thickness as well. So Cerakote is very, very thin. If you get it in the threads, it does not matter. Your bolt will still thread into your threaded hole just fine, because Cerakote is not like powder coat where it's super thick and it builds up. It's very, very thin, very thin. And this Cerakote right here withstands, I think it's 1800 degrees. Yes, 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. So that should be plenty for our little turbo ski. Here is how the parts look freshly sprayed out. So it shows parts will be tack-free 2 to 4 hours, partially cured after 24 hours, and fully cured after 5 days. So we could probably assemble a turbo in 24 hours, but we don't have the seal kit, so we can wait on that anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and link the Cerakote down below. It's the best product I've found that actually withstands high temp if you want to coat any of your exhaust parts, your manifold, or of course your turbo stuff. There's one last thing I want to work on in this video, and that is restoring, or trying to restore, all of the hot parts, I guess you'd call it. So here we have the up pipe, and I'm probably going to do the exhaust manifold as well. There's been some oil that got baked on here. So what I have here is a Prime MX Scotch-Brite wheel. I'm gonna go through and try to get all this junk off, and then maybe do a light polish and they'll get re-burned. I like the coloring on it, but I don't like all the staining. So all that coloring will come back after this car is ran a few times, and hopefully we can get rid of all this BS here. So here is what we ended up with. I was attempting to try to color it a little bit with the torch, and it's taking forever, so I figured I'm just gonna let it naturally do its thing. But this piece, just the up pipe alone, took an hour, so I don't think I'm gonna have time to do the exhaust manifold today, but it should look pretty nice all finished up, and once we get some heat through the engine. All right, my friends, that is gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We should be able to get started on the engine rebuild, reassembly tomorrow, at least the short block. We're not gonna have the heads back for a while. Yeah, if we can get a short block assembled here in the next few days, I guess wait for the heads to come back and we can have a motor back in Gary, and we'll be back to making some sauce, and hopefully she stays together this time. Peace out, my good friends. I'll see you tomorrow.